everybody, welcome back. Tom here from Thicket. I'm hanging out in my garden and I'm sharing my goat garden system that I just designed a couple days ago. So this was my problem with my garden this year. I got a lot of weeds. I know I could have done a much better job at mulching, but I just got busy. By the end of the season, I had a lot of weeds. They were overtaking my veggies, and then at the end, when I harvested everything, the weeds just took over. So this was my idea. Can I use my goats and my mini pig to weed my garden? But the problem is you don't want your goats and your mini pig to eat certain crops, right? Those are your long-term crops, such as asparagus, strawberries, your fall garden. You don't want your goats in your fall garden. So I figured out what I was gonna do. I built a fence and a gate out of an old pallet in the middle of my garden. So I'm standing in my garden right now, but the goats and Stella the mini pig are on the other part of my garden. This section is going to be for a lot of my long-term crops. I'm going to be planting berries in here. My fall crops are gonna go in here. A lot of other crops that are, I guess, perennials that will grow for years and years. So right now, you can't see much. It is November. This is my asparagus bed. I planted these last spring. They got about 4 feet tall. I just cut them back a day or two ago. If I'm lucky, I may get some asparagus next spring that I can harvest if I'm really lucky. Right here are some of my garlics that I planted. Over here we got our strawberry bed. So this strawberry bed, I started with 4 strawberry plants, and it's kind of hard to see, but it's taking over half of the bed. So just 4 strawberry plants is all I needed to get going. Over here is my fall garden. I have broccoli, kale, spinach, beets. I had some snap peas that I harvested. I have some kohlrabi. Over here is some of my rhubarb. I planted some nice rhubarb, which if I'm lucky, I'll get some rhubarb next spring as well. So this part of my garden, the goats and the pig are not going to have access to. This is for my perennials and my long-term plants. I'm gonna mulch this like crazy next spring. So now I'm gonna show you where the magic happens with the goats and our mini pig. So this is gonna take me just a quick second. I still got a little work to do on my fencing. So I still have part of my fall garden right here. I have a lot of cabbage there. I have Brussels sprouts, but I didn't think of this fence idea until about a week ago. So next year, my fall garden isn't gonna go here. I put a temporary fence up so the goats and the pig do not have access to my fall garden. And right here is the little pallet gate I made. I found this awesome pallet just laying around, so I used it. So here are our fainting goats in the background. Here's Stella the pig. She is a sweetheart. Stella's actually doing a great job in the garden. She loves to root. She loves to transfer my soil. She likes to mix it up. She likes to dig. She's done a great job already. They've only been in here 3 times for about 4 or 5 hours. This is not their main source of food. They have several pastures they have access to. They have a giant pen that's about, I don't know, a fourth of an acre just for our goats and our mini pig. So Stella has done a great job at just rooting up the soil here. She is a pretty big sweetheart. Oh, she's about to fall asleep maybe. Stella. Stella. So a lot of people say that there is no point in having a pig on your homestead if you're not gonna eat it. But I tell you what, this is a sweet pig. She's a Juliana. She's not a meat pig, she's a pet pig. She's very smart. I tell you this, after 2 weeks of having her, we knew she was smarter than a dog for sure. Then over here we have Olga, one of our fainting goats. Back there is Romeo. He is our buck fainting goat. We have a couple other fainting goats in the pasture, the front pasture. So this here is my front garden. If you look at my previous video, this is just 3 days of having my goats and my pig here. We had a giant compost pile in the middle. Stella did an awesome job just spreading it around for me, so that's less work I have to do. So this is just 3 days and it's almost bare dirt as opposed to being a giant weed pile. So I'm gonna put them in here a few more times this winter. They have really eaten almost everything. So the thing I like is now I have a clean slate for my spring and summer garden. And then on the other side of the fence is going to be my long-term plants that I'm really investing in, that sometimes takes several years to get your first harvest. So again, this is my goat garden system. If you have goats, if you have a mini pig even, find a use for your mini pig. She can go in your garden as long as you have it fenced properly, and they can actually help you out. A side benefit I haven't talked about, the animals are going to the bathroom here. We got lots of goat pellets and pig poop laying around after a day or so. So that's going to be great amendment for my soil. So they're doing double duty right now. They're fertilizing and they're eating those weeds. I'm going to put them back in here next spring, like I said, right before I start to plant. So if any weeds have started, they will hopefully take care of them for me, and I am not going to have to weed as much. So thanks for joining us. We'll be having more videos out. We've been doing maybe 2 videos a week, and that seems fine by us. So have a great afternoon, and yeah, we'll see you in the next video.